Hello and welcome to my messy craft desk. Today we are here to do a tag. Janie tagged me in this challenge called Give a Scrap, and basically you just have to make something using your scraps. So I have two boxes, or a box and a bowl that I keep my scraps in, and we're gonna just pull those out and see what we can make. Janie made tags in hers. I might end up making tags, but really you can make anything you want to with scraps. So let's start digging through the scrap boxes and stuff.
Through fabric scraps and lace I sew a story that the heart will know. Stitches tight where wounds once bled. Art weaves healing thread by thread. Ink flows, a stream of raw emotion on paper waves. My quiet ocean, tags and cards with stories untold, scraps of myself in hands I hold, belly bands around my fears, journals catch the dripping tears, every brush stroke paints a scar, turning pain into my star. The junk of life becomes my art, patching pieces of my heart. Dying paper, colors blend, a cycle broken, start to mend. Sewing seams of every sorrow, binding hope for bright tomorrows. Expression lives in every scene.
Alright, as I was pulling pieces, I just was grabbing things that called out to me, and I realized I was getting a lot of purples, and I had a couple of pieces with purple on them in another part of my desk. So I grabbed these two pieces, and not everything has purple. There are some greens and some neutral kind of things. We'll just kind of plop down all of the stuff. This is pink. Let's see. And we've got this map thing. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards making some kind of something with this, because you've already got a circle cut out for a good, like, window to something. But what shall it be? All right. My next thought was, what if I take a piece of this map and do like some map stuff over the top as a first background layer? Wow, this is really large. Oh, can I tell you guys something cool? So one of my neighbors, who's also a teacher in my school building, she emailed me the other day and she's like, hey, I'm cleaning out some book stash kind of stuff, and I thought you might like some books for your little free library, or, you know, for whatever purpose you want. And I said, oh yeah, absolutely, I love them. And she brought over a bunch of stuff, And I have, there are some picture books and things. There are some that I could use for junk journaling purposes. There's a complete set of the original Hunger Games trilogy. I'm thinking about doing some kind of contest and giveaway with my students, because my 7th graders have all read the first book in their reading class. And I thought, oh, we could do some kind of contest, because now in my class, they're going to be doing some creative poetry writing inspired by the Hunger Games. So maybe like the person with the best poetry portfolio at the end of it will win a set of the books. I don't know, but I just thought that was kind of cool. All right, so I just glued down this on top of here. Sorry, I forgot to hit play on the camera, which happens from time to time. I had to take a little break and step away for a moment. We're gonna cut around here and then cut around the whole, not the little one, but this one. And fair warning, I'm in a singing kind of mood today. As I sit here tonight, the jukebox playing a tune about the wilder side of life. As I listen to the words you are saying, it brings memories when I was a trustful wife. It wasn't God who made honky-tonk angels, as you said in the words of your song. Too many times married men think they're still single. That has caused many a good girl to go wrong. All right, this looks pretty rough. So we're gonna take some sandpaper, which I saw in my scrap bowl, and we're going to sand this and also sand around the edges of the outside.
Reviving every buried dream. Belly bands around my fears. Journals catch the dripping tears. Every brushstroke paints a scar, turning pain into my star. Belly bands around my fears. Journals catch the dripping tears. Every brushstroke paints a scar, turning pain into my star.
And I'm thinking I want to do some stamping on top of this, because since we sanded and we're distressing, we might as well go for grungy, right? I have these stamps and I kind of want to do this speckled one, or should we do the crackles? What do you call it? Anyway, look, this tells us cracks and specks. This is CMS 1H6 from Tim Holtz, and I think we'll do the speckles. Let's do ground espresso with this as well. I could get out my stamping platform, but nah. Ooh. That's deliciously yummy. Can you see that? All the speckles. Da-dee-da. It might be a good thing now to decide what's going to go underneath this, and that will help me know how I want to decorate around the outside. So if we go to our scraps, do we have anything that could be a focal point? I suppose I could also grab something else for a focal point. Let's see. We could make this little jar a focal point, or these beautiful flowers. I kind of like the idea of the flowers, because look how pretty those are through the window. Let's do that. So let's trim off anything outside of this. I would like to do some decoration on the inside piece, but I don't want to get too much of the circle covered. Maybe we can cover some of these little words that are peeking out. So let me get a pencil and we'll just do a light circle. Can always erase it later. Okay. If you're wondering, this is a piece from a Daphne's Diary magazine and was part of a cover, I think. Anyway, we can see that there's like uneven bits in here and stuff. I don't care. While I was on my little break, I found one more scrap that has pieces of purple in it. This is just from when I was playing with some paint, I think it was. So what if we take a piece of this and we just kind of go like that? Just to give some more purple. Well, it's a shame that all the blame is on us women. It's not true that only you men feel the pain. From the start, most every heart that's ever broken was because there always was a man to blame. This little thing is such a great invention, by the way, a glue eraser. I actually think that's all I want to do on the inside of the circle. We got those words covered up. Let's cut around this piece. In fact, we'll just kind of give it a corner. And then I think maybe what we'll do, just to cover this ugly edge that's kind of part of the binding of the magazine, is take some of this purple dyed paper and just cover that up. This I dyed with Easter egg food coloring, I think. It was like over a year ago, so I don't know that I entirely remember. All right, so this will be the piece that gets glued into a journal page. And I don't want to put anything else on there, so I am going to erase the pencil line that we drew. Oh, don't mess this up. Now you can totally see that circle there. Let's see if the glue eraser will help. It looks better. So totally not what this is meant for, but it did help a little bit. You can still see the shine on the circle if I tilt it a certain way, but you know what? We're gonna let it go, because if I obsess about that, then I'm gonna cry. And we don't want any of that. Today is a singing day, not a crying day. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. Now we need to finish decorating this, and what else do we have in our scraps? Let's pull purple things and green things. I've got this piece of fabric here. I've got some green lace. I have this purple plaid. This is green, or there's some green on it. Got a purple stamp on this letter. This purple thing, I was using some colors to dye a piece of a little doily. Got that idea from Barbara. I get a lot of good ideas from Barbara. But, you know, here's another one. I don't know, but we don't have to go crazy with the purple either. It doesn't have to be all purple stuff. I kind of feel like just kind of intuitively playing with some things. So what I'd like to start with is just cutting this trim off of here. And then I'm gonna tear this. So if you care to find me, look to the western skies. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. Guess what I also have in my scrap stash? Little test die cut. That could maybe be used in a bit. Okay, so we've torn this bit. Okay, I've got to set this out of the way because I keep looking at it going, there's something not quite right. I've got to just let it go. All right, I cut around the stamp on that envelope that I found. It's got this cute flower. And I have this stamp that was just sitting there. It's a circle stamp. It looks kind of like a postmark, so we're gonna stamp that kind of in the corner of the stamp. Stamp on the stamp. And then I want some green in between here and here to like divide that up. Do I want to use the lace or some of this green? I think lace. Do I want a piece going all the way across? Maybe we'll just cut out one of the flowers. I have more of this green lace too, even more than that's on this piece. So we will cut. Say you, say me, say it together. That's the way it should be. Say you, say me, say it for always, naturally. As we go down life's broken highway, seems the hardest thing to do is to find a friend or two. And what we play is a masquerade. Behind a wall of doubt, a voice is crying out. Say you, say me, say it for always. That's the way it should be. All right, this is kind of what I'm thinking. I am just wondering, is this too light? Because it's white on top of this light tan, and I feel like there should be more contrast. This is an easy thing to fix though, because we can color it with some spritz or spray or oxide or something. In fact, I have several colors of oxide that are in the purple range. Seedless Preserve might be a good contrast because it's got a punch of brighter red within the purple. All right, I do like that. I'm not wild about the brightness of the color, but I have made my choice. I can go over it with some more of another color, but I want to challenge myself to keep this brightness here, because I've got another idea of something I can do to balance that a little bit. Let's glue down these pieces before I change my mind. And apologies for so much singing. I just can't seem to stop today. I've been sitting here staring at the clock on the wall, and I've been laying here praying she won't call. Just another call from home. You'll get up and be gone, and I'll be crying. Ooh, that was deep. Maybe too low for me. Let's try a different song. I got a girl crush. Hate to admit it, but I've got a heart rush. It ain't slowing down. I got it real bad. Stop texting me. Want everything she has. Her smiling that midnight laugh. It's calling you now. And I wanna taste her lips. Yeah, 'cause she tastes like you. I wanna drown myself in a bottle of her perfume. Look what I found. See those preserved spritz? So we can do maybe a little bit of spritzing here and there to bring in more of that lighter color. I don't get no sleep. I don't get no relief thinking about her under your bed sheet. The way that she's whispering, the way that she's pulling you in. While that's drying, is there more we want to add? I'm wondering if this piece of fabric should just be a hinge that we attach to the back that will allow us to hinge it on top of the background piece here. So we'll scoot this over. If we do that, then what we can do is glue a bit onto here. Normally when I'd hinge something, I'd like to do like the full length of it, but this is the piece of purple fabric that I have and I want to use it. Don't judge me. All right, this is dry, so we're going to add the piece of fabric here, or do I want to back this first and then put the fabric? I think that's what I want to do. But that means I'm gonna have to cut around the circle again. And I don't want to. Here's the thing. As I'm filming this, it's quite late at night and I need to get to bed at some point. So will you guys believe me that I will back this and glue this together so it hinges? Will you please? And then when it does, that will peek through the window. So what I'll have to do is put like a piece of transparency or something so we have something clear here, and then do the like backing something like for writing space, I don't know, and then I'll hinge it. If you would please trust me that I would do that, that would help me a lot, because it's a school night, it's very late, it's past my bedtime, and I really need to go to sleep. My students have been saying lately, Miss Page, you're yawning all the time, and I always tell them, it's your fault, you wear me out. But really it is partially my own fault because I stay too up late crafting or reading books. So with that in mind, I'm gonna call this an end to the video. Thank you, Janie, for tagging me in this Give a Scrap. So if you're watching this and you would like to join in on this tag, you're welcome to. You can use the hashtag Give a Scrap in your video or post title and see what you can make with some scraps that you have. I was gonna tag somebody specifically, but then I'm like, okay, the person I'm thinking of, I don't know if they like have time to do it, and you know that I always feel a little bit awkward about that. So let's just move on from here, and I will try to stop singing and go to bed so that I can be nice to my students in the morning. So thank you so much for joining me on this one. I hope you have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading, crafting, or journaling. Adios. I've tried, can't get her off my mind.